Consumer fads and trends come and go. This will never change. What can change is how we interact with them. A fad, as defined by the industry, is a style, activity, or interest that is very popular for a short period of time. Think fidget spinners, rainbow looms, beanie babies, or my personal favorite, those women's shirts that had the shoulders cut out for like a month. A trend, on the other hand, is a general development or a change in a situation or in the way that people are behaving. Trends are not inherently negative. They may be positive or negative. They just last longer than a fad. So Americans deciding to eat healthier would be considered a trend. Likewise, so is the recent increase in energy drink consumption. Contrary to a positive trend, buying into a fad has virtually no long-term benefit. Fads steal our money and time and attention. I can still remember as a child hearing about adults driving all over town to find the last Cabbage Patch Kid to buy for their kids for Christmas, a perfect example of a fad. At the end of the day, which is sometimes how long some of these fads last, they always result in clutter and sometimes guilt. We end up with junk in our closet that nobody wants, and we just wasted a portion of our life and resources to get something that didn't last. We thought it would be worth money in the future, or that it would result in the most perfect Christmas memory, or that it would immediately elevate our status among our friends and neighbors. But fads offer none of that in the long run. The store took our money, and we're left holding the bag. Fads come and go in all areas of life: toys, fashion, accessories, technology, home decor, holiday gifts, even cars, websites, and games. And the more we learn to reject fads and senseless trends, the more life we retain for things that matter. But how do we do this, especially given their prevalence and cyclical nature? Well, I've given this some thought, and here are 9 ways to avoid spending on fads. Number 1, know who starts them. I remember exactly where I was sitting when I first discovered the Pantone Fashion Color Trend Report. The report was published on a news site, and it was dedicated entirely to telling the world what colors of clothing were going to be popular for the next season. A report, as I later found out, that was created by the fashion industry, designed solely to convince us to buy more and different clothes every single season rather than just wear the clothing already hanging in our closet. Fads, and I think most trends, are created by manufacturers, retailers, marketers, and distributors for the sole purpose of getting you to spend your money on their stuff. Remember who starts fads, and that they rarely have your best interest in mind. Number 2, recount where you first heard about the fad or the product. One helpful way to avoid wasting money on fads is to trace back where you first heard about the new style or the trend. Did you see it on your local news? Did you read about it on a pop culture website? Did you notice it on TikTok? Did you see it on the front shelves at Target? If you can trace back to the beginning, where you were first introduced to the newest phenomenon that seemingly everyone is trying to be a part of, you'll be in a better position to discern if it's just a passing fad or if it's something timeless. Was it a source that is typically swayed or benefits from the cultural obsession of the day? Or was it a source that has provided wise and stable wisdom over the years? A third step to stop spending on fads is to simply stay out of stores. As I mentioned earlier, It is important to remember that retail stores seek to profit off of fads. It doesn't matter to them how helpful an item is to you and your family in the long run. If there's money to be made in pet rocks, they're going to stock pet rocks on their shelves. So remove the temptation to waste money on passing fads by spending less time in stores designed to get you to buy. Equally important, I would recommend removing yourself from email newsletters and special sales days created to hype fads, trends, and things you don't need. A fourth step is to learn from your past mistakes. It's hard to admit mistakes, so it can be easy to make excuses why buying into unnecessary fad products was actually a good idea at the time or not our fault. We rationalize away our reckless purchase by reminding ourselves that everyone was buying the same style of shirt, or how every parent was trying to get their hands on Princess Unicorn for their daughter. It's easy to think we don't have a problem of overconsumerism until we stare at a house full of stuff that needs to be decluttered and things that need to be removed. Then we feel the guilt. Learn from your past mistakes instead. If you have fallen prey to fads in the past, clothing, toys, technology, whatever, notice what motivation prompted that purchase. And then work to overcome it so you don't repeat your mistake in the future. Number 5, I love this one. Commit to owning and buying less. The most effective way to overcome the pull of trendy consumerism in every capacity is to be content owning less. When you own fewer possessions, you discover more money, time, and energy for things that matter. You shift the focus of your life from the pursuit of physical possessions towards a more intentional life instead. So one important way to overcome fads is to experiment with owning less. If you want to stop buying into fashion trends, try a Project 333 experiment. If you want to stop buying into toy fads, research how owning fewer toys will benefit your child. If you want to stop buying into tech fads, master the tools you already have before buying new ones. If you want to stop buying into home decor fads, be more grateful for what you have. A sixth step to stop spending on fads is to embrace a waiting period for your purchases. Fads come and go pretty quick, sometimes within a matter of weeks. So if you're really on the fence about a purchase and can't decide if it's useful or simply something passing, give yourself 2 weeks before buying anything. 2 weeks won't ruin you, but it might be long enough for the fad to begin clearly running its course. Number 7 is to be confident with your own style. Fads and trends play on our insecurities. They subtly claim that our current lives are not enough to thrive in society and that we need to buy what everyone else is buying in order to keep up with the changing times. Those who are confident with their life choices and the trajectory of their lives will be less likely to take the bait. So be confident of the life you're living. Be sure in where you are spending your money, time, energy, and efforts. If you've spent your life swayed to and fro by the whims of culture, you'll find no confidence there. So find a firmer foundation on your values and a more important pursuit with your one life. Number 8, rethink the value of your money. Your money is only as valuable as what you choose to spend it on. Your dollars, after providing for your needs, can be spent on consumeristic and selfish pursuits, for sure. Or it can be used to help others and to solve problems in the world. And the more we begin to see the potential of our money, the less likely we are to use it on passing fads. And number 9, the final step to stop spending on fads is to choose your own life. Nobody gets to decide what life you live and the attitudes you bring into this world. Nobody gets to decide what you spend your money on. Those are your choices. Just because the news, billboards, websites, culture, and magazines are telling you that everyone is now wearing X, buying Y, or watching Z, doesn't mean you have to as well. There's only one person who decides what enters your life: you. So take that responsibility seriously. Fads will always come and go. One just ended and another's just about to start. But fads never provide long-term benefit to those who partake in them. So choose to live differently.